Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. It's Aly Kat here. Now in today's video we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about Paladins and we're going to talk about Hi-Rez Studios, who are the ones that are responsible, because there's some news happening which is quite unfortunate. So before we get into that, I need to explain that on this channel we mostly talk about fighting games, FGC. I'm also into content creation as well and spirituality, but mostly on this channel it's about fighting games. So those that know, I'm really into Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Virtua Fighter 5, Revo, and I also stream on Twitch, and I've been playing these games for the last couple of years. Last month was my second year affiliate, Twitch affiliate anniversary, so that was absolutely awesome. And let's say a big thank you to everyone who supported me on Twitch and my content creation journey as well on YouTube. You've been amazing. So those that know that, I don't also just play fighting games, I also play some FPS games as well, including games like Fortnite and Marvel Rivals. But before all of that, there was a game which really did take my heart. Paladins is still one of my favourite games to date. At the time, during the COVID era, I got into it because I was trying to find a different game to play, and it didn't have the fastest system at the time, so I couldn't just get the latest game. So I was like, okay, so what can I get for free and what can I get into? And so I came across Paladins. I really love the lore of it, the look of it. I'm into my sort of the mystical fantasy style, into that kind of era and that kind of stories and everything. So it's something that I gravitated to, and of course at the time I gave all of them a fair shot. I downloaded pretty much, I think it must have been about 10 games in total that were free, FPS games, to see if I could gel with any of them, and Paladins was the one who won. So that's how I got into that. So now, the other thing to bear in mind is that last October, I was, in fact I did do a video, but I never released it on YouTube, and it was talking about Realm Royale. It was by a studio called Hi-Rez, and at the time when the game came out, it was quite popular. It had people like Ninja playing it, and it also had it was their battle royale version, I guess, of this fantasy style games. It's a bit different to Fortnite, but a lot of people were comparing it to Fortnite. I never actually got to play it, but that got me into Paladins, and I thought, okay, let me give this a shot. Paladins are quite different. Whereas Realm Royale is from a third person, Paladins is from the first person. So it's got a lot more similar to Overwatch. Alright, so before we get into the whole Overwatch versus Paladins thing, I've only played Overwatch a few times, so I can't really give a valid opinion on it. But in terms of the style of gameplay and everything, from what I like to play with games and everything, from what I like, Paladins is more my style of game. And they were out at the same time, pretty much. I think Paladins was in beta when Overwatch came out, and just so happens that the games are very similar in terms of style and everything. But yeah, so anyway, Overwatch turned into Overwatch 2, and Paladins, well, didn't turn into anything, basically just had some more updates and everything. And so yeah, there's some problems last few years as well with the servers on Paladins. Any of you that are fans of the game would know that we were getting thrown out of matches and things weren't loading up, and it was just a bit buggy, and in general it was a bit frustrating to play it. Now, as a streamer as well on Twitch, I was I've been streaming Paladins once a week, pretty much, whenever I go on, and it was quite frustrating to not be able to play it because they were doing various maintenance and so forth. But anyway, so let's go back to October when I was going to do a video. In fact, I did finish a video, but I never uploaded it. And the video was about the fact that Hi-Rez Studios shutting down Realm Royale Reforged, and they had another game as well called Divine Knockout, which was quite popular. Those that follow Holy FX, who made Twitch partner recently, so big shout out to him. He was an official partner of the game as well, and the game was awesome, to be honest as well. It had good potential, really good, but unfortunately Hi-Rez have made some cuts, and so those two games on their list were the first two to go. Now Hi-Rez have also made Rogue Company, they've made Smite and Paladins, and of course Realm Royale and DKO. And of course it doesn't even matter now because, okay, so what they announced in October was that they were going to shut down the servers for Realm Royale, Reforged and Divine Knockout. And this article, which is on Games Industry Biz, basically just talks about on the 17th of February, that's like literally in a few days time, time recording this video by the way, it's like 12th of February, that they're going to shut down the servers, which basically means that the game's been sunset. And so the game's like developed by Evil Mojo, and it was also Redbeard Games. Okay, so, and of course, like, you know, Hi-Rez is like, you know, the overall sort of owner of those IPs and everything. So that game is going to be no more in a few days time. Now, when this came out, I was a bit concerned because obviously Hi-Rez are the people who are responsible for Paladins. And so there was no mention about Paladins, and so like people were like, okay, so Paladins is safe, but I had something in the back of my head which was like, I don't like where this is going, and if we start the new year and people keep making more cuts, because like the gaming industry, like a lot of it has been affected, and if they keep making cuts, then guess what's going to happen to Paladins? And I didn't want to say it at the time, and so I think that's probably why I didn't want to put out the video. I didn't want to put out any bad karma or anything, but lo and behold, it's happened anyway. So they made an announcement last week, and basically Hi-Rez have said that they weren't going to do any more updates for Paladins, and that was it. So this was like quite a shock, because they have been playing this game for like 1,912 hours. So I've been putting in the time in this game, like seriously, like I might not play it like constantly, but it has been like a regular feature. It was one of the first games I actually streamed as well. Alright, so we're going to go onto this article from PC Gamer. It basically just talks about the cuts that Hi-Rez are doing, and the focus from them is going to be on Smite 2, which is come out of beta and is officially out now. Like Smite 2 is like a very popular game for Hi-Rez, and I think that was always the game given like top priority. I mean, they put loads of memes about it for years and that, but it seems like it's like true. So yeah, so Paladins and Rogue Company, the servers will remain open for now with no major updates planned for these games. And so of course, yeah, a lot of people have been disappointed about that. You know, the internet was outraged. I was like completely shocked. It was like one of my favourite games, but the thing is, I was into a game like a few years ago now, and it was called Spellbreak, and I really enjoyed it, and then they just got rid of it. This was available on Epic Games as well, like done by a different studio, but it's the whole thing about when you enjoy a game and there's no more maintenance for it. Like the game that you play is only as good as how it's maintained. So this is why things like games like Fortnite, as much as some people don't like Fortnite, just look how well the game is maintained, and look how much you get for like your battle pass and stuff like that. It's like they're actively doing stuff. With games like Paladins, because they simply didn't have the resources, things just really slowed up. They really did. So what you were getting was you're getting like new chests and stuff that was just like rehashed skins in, and you were getting the battle passes still, but they weren't as often, and there was just nowhere near as much stuff. You used to get way more like Paladins developer videos and like, you know, spotlight features about what was going on. I used to really look forward to those. It looks like for now that the servers are going to remain open and on, so I would encourage anyone who's got a Steam account or on console, why not download Paladins for free and get into it while it's still there, because the game is absolutely awesome. There's some wonderful people on there, and I want to say like big shout out to Forever Alice and also Zerini, because I bumped into like Forever Alice like a few years ago now, and she was like streaming, and it was awesome. Like just clicked with her like first off like right away. It was absolutely an amazing human, and she's been like a massive supporter of like my channel as well, and my growth. And big shout out to Zerini as well, because Zerini was dragged into like my channel, I remember, from Alice, and I just remember it was like a Friday night, and then like, you know, Zerini like popped in and he was just vibing out for a little bit and just couldn't believe it. So yeah, big shout out to those two, they're absolutely awesome. And I want to give like a huge shout out to Glutzy as well. Like, she doesn't even know me, but I used to watch her for like hours. I was playing Paladins, and I used to think to myself, you know what, I want to do that one day. And I did it. I did manage to do that, and also I managed to grab some games with her as well. And I was so nervous at the time, but She's absolutely amazing, and so much love out to Glutzy, and to anyone else who is playing Paladins or was a fan of Paladins, you know, why not jump on? My username is Alyssakatpink, it's like same as like everything. So you're more than welcome to, like, you know, just send us a message or something, or just, you know, put in a request or something like that, and we can get some games in. It's going to be a bit sad because I did want to like really focus on doing some more content for Paladins, and as you can tell, I haven't actually uploaded one long form video on Paladins. I've done a couple of shots and that's it. I was very apprehensive about doing it, but you know what, I'm gonna go and do it anyway. And I want to give a shout out as well to like Frostfangs and people like Andrew Chicken, because they were like putting out really good content and everything. And so yeah, just want to say like big thank you to all the, you know, development team who's worked on it, because some of those people are not even employed anymore, and they've got to, like, you know, they've got to move on and find something different. So we can't keep this hate going towards Hi-Rez, like the people who run it. Obviously, like with a lot of these companies, you've got the upper echelons, you know, the board of directors, and sometimes, unfortunately, they make terrible decisions for their own game. I still see this a lot in a lot of big companies that are doing very well. They keep making decisions and they're not listening to the fans. So what's going to happen in the future? Well, personally, I'm going to be uploading Paladins videos until they turn this thing off. So I'm all for it, and you know what, like we'll go out in a blaze of glory. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's supporting me on the channel, and I'll speak to you very soon, and thanks for the love and support. Couldn't do it without you a lot.